Coach O absolutely bodies Lane Kiffin to the point where he deleted his poor Woodle tweet. This is the Locked On Ole Miss podcast.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, the most watched Ole Miss podcast out there. I'm your host, Stephen Willis, a 10-year veteran member of the national media with Yahoo Sports and a former Ole Miss staff member as well. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Now it's the number one sports podcast network in America, and that is all because of fans like you taking in content like this. On today's show, we are going to talk about spring football. We are going to have just some random conversations and go back and forth with the mayor of Corinth, Tom Vanderford, on the show talking about that. But first, we need to start with Coach O absolutely bodying Lane Kiffin over Lane Kiffin doing his random tweeting stuff. That tweet has since been deleted, and there's a good reason for that. All of that and more on today's Locked On Ole Miss podcast. Remember, we're free and available on all the podcast apps and on YouTube, and a special hello to the insiders and everydayers who make this show what it is, and that is your team every day. You know, have your cake and drink it too. Family birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla-y, cakey flavored, caffeinated kick, no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com at Amazon. All right, Tom. One thing that's interesting. All right, so LSU beat Ole Miss last night in women's basketball. Ole Miss had like a 13-point lead. They just completely ran out of gas. They played their third game in 5 days. You know, they still have South Carolina coming on Sunday, so it's not over yet, but LSU won the game. Ole Miss had an electric atmosphere there, more people than they normally get there, and that was because of what Ole Miss was trying to do and all of that. Well, dear leader Lane Kiffin decided to say that, hey, Ole Miss has these big atmospheres only when LSU's in town. We're just different, yada, yada, yada. Tagged Coach O, all of that stuff, and talked about the win for LSU that night. And it was very weird behavior. It felt like LSU beating Ole Miss, and he was kind of reveling in that. But when he tweeted at Coach O, Tom, I don't think he realized the rattlesnake that he was playing with, because she gave him no quarter.
Oh, not at all. As a matter of fact, I saw something just in the last little while where she told him that he needed to shut up because she knew wherever all the files were at or something like that.
Yeah. She actually said, no, he woke up tweeting me. He knows that I have the files, so he should stop while I'm ahead.
Yep.
That's while ahead. Yep. That's what you posted. But the original thing is, after the original tweet by Lane Kiffin, this was a low-key great shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She said, special thanks to my college football playoff coach, Pete Golding, and squad for coming to the game. Wasn't his first one either. Looking forward to supporting a coach that has won a college football playoff game in the fall. Trinidad flag and red and blue hearts. Let's say goodbye to the past Rebs, just like I did after this. And she put video up of Lane Kiffin striking out in slow pitch softball, which is still some of the funniest stuff that I've seen. I mean, whenever you strike out in slow pitch softball, he came through, he put his shirt over his mouth talking so nobody could read his lips. I said the funniest part of what was going on was Walker Jones trying not to lose it after that, because at that point, Lane Kiffin was still the goose that laid the golden egg. You know, you did want to do that, but it was just a bridge too far that Walker Jones just was grinning ear to ear, and he was trying so hard not to laugh, but he just couldn't help it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think everybody kind of knew that he would do something goofy like that, but it sure was fun watching Coach O eat his lunch.
Yeah, that was whenever you delete a tweet.
Yeah.
You've been worked pretty good, and you've been worked pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And he got worked to the point where all of a sudden he tweeted out later on in the day, it's like, hey, congratulations on building a great basketball program. Yeah, it's like, okay, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know exactly what happened there.
Oh, yeah. He keeps
So,
getting that he has skeletons all in his closet in Oxford, and he just keeps poking the bear.
yeah.
And I think Yo just reminded him that he needs to quit poking that bear.
Yeah, and when it comes to the club of the coaches, him and Chris Beard and Coach Yo and Mike Bianco, the other coaches that are going, they're an elite fraternity.
Yeah.
10 people in the city of Oxford that have at least a little bit of shared experience. And so there are probably conversations that cross over with what's going on. They have neighbors and all of that. How you act as the head coach, if you do not act well, they will protect you to the very end while your head coach is there.
Yep.
Whenever you leave, if you force them to, they will open everything. I'll put this in perspective. All right. Everybody that watches this show knows that I was the video coordinator when Ed Orgeron was in Oxford. They protected Ed Orgeron. They absolutely did, because there was some just crazy stuff that was going on, ripping off shirts and just behavior that nobody would condone if it got out. The moment that Ed Orgeron got fired after I think it was Chuck Rounsaville said, I've got snakes in my head, the moment after that happened, all of a sudden you find out about kids throwing dirt clops at a dentist's house, and all of this is coming out. Fights that happened at an elementary school or junior high school basketball game, and all of that stuff. It just lets you know there's not many places in this world more petty than Mississippi after a breakup, and Lane would do well to know that about moving forward.
Yeah, because, I just being honest with you, I think some of our viewers / listeners may feel the same way about this, but he's been acting a lot lately like we fired him.
Yeah.
He's the one acting like the jilted lover, and we're like, dude, just go home, do your thing, get away from us. And I think he to know that, hey, like you said, the folks in Oxford are holding back, but they're not going to hold back forever.
No, not even a little bit. And everybody needs to remember about this. LSU has a $50 million roster. Can you imagine the pressure that is going to be on Lane Kiffin to win that game? Not anything else. That game.
Ridiculous. Yeah. And, I just read something on Twitter today where their AD said they're $25 million in the hole.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke. And listen, one thing that's interesting coming up, we've all seen Lane Kiffin in big moments pee down his leg. Every Ole Miss fan saw that. Every time Ole Miss played Alabama, something happened. The get your popcorn ready game, just peed down his leg. There's been exactly one time where he didn't. And that was a game that was surprising because it was anti-Lane. I don't think that it would be a bad idea for Ole Miss to make this game as big as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just completely hype it up beyond belief, because the bigger the game, the more likely it is that he pees down his leg at some portion of it.
Exactly. And, don't get me wrong, he did great things for Ole Miss, and I'm thankful. I'm also thankful that Walker and Jones and some of the other people have built up this NIL collective like they have, so everything will continue on. That's the most important thing. But he does that so often. He'll like you said, he'll pee down his legs. So I would do everything. I would break the bank to get people in there that showed how great of a game it was. Celebrities, whatever it takes. I think Stephen O. Smith said he's already coming, but that's just that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Katy Perry's type stuff.
Yeah.
wonderful things and just make it this big, huge contest.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what needs to happen. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point that College GameDay is going to be in town. I honestly think that Stephen A. Smith is going to be the guest picker when game day comes to town because of that happened. And I think the tweet got deleted today by Lane Kiffin because he realized that Stephen A. Smith likely is following Coach Yo after what happened on social media, and he saw that whole interaction.
Yeah. CAA has saved his butt numerous times since he left. But at the same time, people are seeing through his bull crap.
Yeah.
They're seeing through all of his petty, narcissistic crap. And, we just sit back and let it happen.
Yeah. It's like I said, the one thing that Ole Miss needs to do is, you need to, I'm not a big deal. Like whenever he trolls you, ignore it. No. Whenever he trolls you, fight back. Everybody put the gif of Lane Kiffin striking out in a slow pitch softball. Everybody pass that around. Do that because that is going to embarrass him more than just anybody not paying attention. Because one thing that he's going to do and what he's trying to do, and the same thing he tried to do at Ole Miss, is pump up his own base. He doesn't care about the other side. He wants to pump up his base. Yeah. So whenever in the void of things, him striking out in slow pitch softball pops up every single time, you kind of win that exchange. And it also increases the importance to him to the Ole Miss LSU game, which, like I said, anytime it's a big game, he is pissed down his leg. All right, when we come back, we are going to get into spring football. The mayor of Corinth is in the house. Tom Vanderford's here. We will talk about that in just a second. Hey, welcome to the 5-Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft and let you know which tasty flavors are best and which just might be sleepers. The board is set, the flavors are ready, and there's only one that is going to take the top spot. For me, top spot has to go to cherry, right? That is the artificial candy flavor that I just like, that cherry flavor. I think that is the number one as it goes. That's my top flavor of the day. I like that type stuff is so versatile. You can find it wherever you want to get flavors as well. So that's going to be my number one pick. The sleeper might be pomegranate. That's a tangy, tarty taste that you can take in the 5-Hour Energy selection. And of course, if you like sweet tooth stuff, you can get confetti craze or fruity rainbow or cotton candy. So if none of those are right up your alley, there's always grape. There's the old standby grape flavor that you can get in your 5-Hour Energy. Find your new favorite flavor of 5-Hour Energy shots available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. So that is pretty cool. And if you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person, FanDuel has given you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future and you'll be automatically entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. And if you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to kind of lock that in. I love futures this type of year. Whether you're picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title, it adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now you can pick your cash as an option, or you can also get sent to the NBA Finals. So visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Hey, do us a favor, subscribe, like, comment on this video, subscribe to the podcast on whichever audio podcast you're listening to, and give it a 5-star review. It costs absolutely nothing, but it helps keeps all of this free. Thank you for making Locked On Ole Miss your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network in America. That's all because of fans like you. If you haven't already, go check out the new Everydayer Club, access to an ad-free feed for Locked On Ole Miss that's compatible on Apple, Spotify, and every podcast app. It has an invite to a members-only Locked On Everydayer Club Discord server. And if you join that, I will give you an invite to my own private Locked On Ole Miss Discord server as well. So you'll have a group chat on the Locked On version, and you'll be there with us hanging out with what's going on the chat as well. You'll have special access episodes of Locked On Ole Miss. Corey Burton, Dalen Flowers, Mike Huseman all have access to what's going on, and they do like 7 to 10 minute videos of kind of what's going on around Ole Miss. So go to Ole Miss, lockedonolemiss.supercast.com, or tap the link down in the show notes below to learn more. All right, Tom, one thing's interesting, and I was going to do this show talking almost completely about spring football. What are the things that you are most excited about for spring football? We're probably about a month away from spring football kicking off in earnest. What are you looking forward to?
Well, the defense is always ahead of the offense, so I'm looking forward to some good defensive work that they get in. But on offense, I want to see how the tackles, we're good. We've got returners at center and guard. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now
I'm talking about, Tom.
Our center's going to be out for spring. So Bryson's going to be out for spring, but the kid we got from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I want to see how he does. And I want to see how the receivers that we've got coming in, I want to see how they gel with Trinidad.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the running back competition, RB2 through RB7.
Oh, yeah.
Mekhi Frazier all the way down to the new running back they just signed out of Kemper County as a true freshman. There's going to be a massive competition. I've said many times on my show that it's going to be a knife fight, essentially, 4 carries behind Kewan Lacy, because everybody knows Kewan's the starter. Right. But Frank Wilson rotates running backs more than Kevin Smith did.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see what that rotation looks like. I want to see who gets the carry. I had Spencer McLaughlin on my show, who is the play-by-play guy on top of his Locked On College football duties. He's the play-by-play guy for Southern Utah, which means he saw every one of Joshua Dye's snaps this season. So we got a kind of a good input on him. And then guys like Shakai Mills-Knight and JT Lindsay, those guys going to be really interesting. And we got another 3-star out of Pike Road, Alabama. Pike Road's been good to Ole Miss in recent years. So I'm curious to see what that looks like as well.
I remember the last 3-star we got out of Pike Road. He ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, and Trey Wallace was out of Pike Road as well.
Exactly.
So they apparently put out good ball players when it comes to Pike Road. All right, so spring practice is going to come here. They have to bring back the Grove Bowl, right? Because there's no spring transfer portal window. They have to bring that back.
Yeah, they will. They will. If nothing more than to be different than the previous administration. But the key,
we're not going to have a hot dog eating contest.
I think so. The key is, though, like you said, there's no spring portal. So these kids are locked in. So you don't have to worry about them whining and moaning because, they're not first team or whatever. So I think that is going to be part of it as well. But no, I think Grove Bowl's back on. I think we're going to see an offense that I hope I've got a feeling that it's going to be better than last year's.
It should be.
Yeah. And the defense will definitely end up being better than last year's, if not now, in the fall, once they get a lot of time together. But and getting back to it, I want to see how that secondary looks, because I think the secondary is going to be big.
Yeah, it was huge. One thing that Ole Miss had to deal with that they tried to cover up during the season is they couldn't play man coverage.
Right.
And and I think Pete Golding had just decided, is like, we're going to do this again. We're going to be able to play man coverage. They went out and got Jay Crawford, who is a Trey Amos level cornerback. He's going to be the cornerback one on defense. Antonio Kite, who was by far the best defensive back that Ole Miss had a year ago, he's going to be fighting to get on the field, whether in the slot or on the other side as a CB2. And the safeties, Janel Agüero, Edwin Joseph, and the young guys, Ladarian Clardy, who actually played a decent amount in the playoffs once the change happens. I think he has a chance to get on the field a lot as well. You're right. The secondary for Ole Miss this year, they could be very good. And when we come back, Tom, we are going to talk about how Ole Miss has the top quarterback, top running back, and top kicker in college football right now, and kind of where that puts us at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. All that when we come back. This is the Locked On Ole Miss podcast.
I'm Clea Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. It was a heavyweight showdown between number 3 South Carolina and number 7 LSU, and the Gamecocks rose to the occasion. South Carolina secured a hard-fought 79-72 victory to stay atop the SEC standings, using a balanced offensive attack to outlast the Tigers. Tessa Johnson led the way with 21 points, while Raven Johnson added 19. Medina Okot dominated the paint with a double-double, finishing with 12 points and 17 rebounds, while Joyce Edwards chipped in 10 points to round out the scoring. With the statement win, the Gamecocks now turn their attention to a road matchup at number 23 Alabama on Thursday. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
All right, Tom. Trinidad Chambliss, if you go listen to the film guy, Brooks Austin, is also on ESPN. It's also an On3 from time to time. First team All-American, Heisman favorite, best quarterback in college football. He's definitely the most dynamic one, in my opinion. Kewan Lacy, top running back in college football. There's almost no argument about that at this point. And Lucas Carneiro, anybody that saw the Sugar Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl, where he hit multiple 55-yard field goals, he's the best kicker in all of college football. This Ole Miss setup is superior to any point in their history. I can't remember 3 players that influence winning to that level being at this high of a level as my life as an Ole Miss fandom or anything I've heard about.
Me neither. We've had some really good players in my lifetime. We've had some really good teams in my lifetime. But the stretch of 24, 25, and 26, I don't think we've seen this in my lifetime. I was, kind of sad after we lost in the semis. And now that I look at it, we have addressed so many deficiencies on our team, and we've kept, like you said, all kinds of future pro ball players. It cracks me up when people are like, well, I can't believe Chambliss didn't want to go to the NFL. Dude, he's going to get $5 million this year. It's all good for Ole Miss this year. They did good. They handled the portal well. They just, when you look at it, man, it's just we kept our whole interior offensive line. That was very important. There's a time there where I thought Townsend was gone. And we kept all 3 of those kids, both guards, the center. We got some good tackles in, especially I think the kid from Miami,
Well, I think Carius Curran is probably the best player they got in the transfer portal this year.
I think he's plug and play. I think he's a monster. Now, the Florida kid, he's probably more of a project, but you can't teach that size and that quickness. No. But it's just, dude, we're blessed. It's year run in my lifetime.
Yeah, and when you look at it, it's not like they're just built for this year.
No.
It's not. I mean, you got Deuce Knight waiting in the wings. You've got a running back room, all that 2-for-7 knife fight that I just talked about. They're going to get the reins next year for Ole Miss. Wide receiver, I mean, there's a lot going on. I think Caleb Cunningham has a chance to have a real impact this season for Ole Miss. I think Jace Matthews has a chance to make the impact, but he's more likely a next year guy. But this 5-star receivers we're talking about, Jahontae Cook, I think he has multiple years of eligibility for what he can do. This is pretty interesting stuff, man.
Oh, Jahontae Cook as a slot in this offense, it gives me chills.
Yeah, he has Elijah Moore level ceiling as a slot receiver.
Yes, he does. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
So, well, anyway, Tom, what do you got going on this weekend, buddy?
Well, tonight I got to go to the hospital. They're going to do a sleep study on me and see if I got that sleep apnea mess.
Hey, if you do, they're going to give you a CPAP. Don't fight it. It'll be about a week and you'll realize, oh my goodness, I don't know how I slept before. Yeah, it's the CPAP is a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah. Now if I get it, that's wonderful. I'll take it. I'll do it. But other than that, I'm just chilling out, I guess.
All right. Well, Tom, go ahead.
Glad we got power. Glad I got internet. Glad my ribs are feeling better.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Anyway, Tom, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you next week, bud.
Yes, sir. Hotty toddy, everybody.
Hotty toddy. All right. Thanks for tuning in today to the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. We're going to continue to talk about spring football all month long, essentially. So make sure you subscribe and follow along so you get all of the episodes. We're on all the social channels as well. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Ole Miss ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedonolemisssupercast.com to join the club. For those of you on video, we're going to send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On College Football or Locked On SEC. Hotty toddy, everybody. We will see you soon. Take care.